Let's do the call to order, please. Sorry, false alarm. There's a rookie chairman of the board, so be patient with me tonight. Go ahead.
Here.
Here.
Mr. Shower. Here.
Now we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance. And since we've got a new guy on board, Dr. Hill, if you could lead us in the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I thought he did all right. Don't you guys think he did all right? It's his first try. I thought it was good. I thought he did good. It was not applause worthy, Debbie. Maybe the next meeting, but he's got work to do. All right, Debbie, but you are on. It's approval of the minutes.
So moved.
We have a motion.
Yes.
We have a second. Roll call, Debbie.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Before we get to the next section, we're going to go into an executive session. I wanted y'all to know that in advance. The reason why we usually do these at the end of the meetings. However, there's a couple of items that are kind of time sensitive, so we may want to try to get it on the agenda for tonight. So by way of warning, we'll go into executive session. There could be action when we come back out. So that said, before we get there, I'd like to entertain a motion. There's an amendment to the existing agenda. So let's get that out of the way first.
Yeah,
Eddie?
so we're just requesting a motion to amend it to remove item 7. Item 7 was a proposed purchase by the fire department for repair that is no longer necessary, so they won't need to make the expenditure.
Okay.
I'll make the motion to amend the agenda as stated.
Yes.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion on the matter? Seeing none, roll call, please, Debbie.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. All right. So now it's time for us to ask for a motion to go into executive session. The lovely part is I didn't bring my glasses, so let's see how this goes. There's a motion to adjourn into executive session as permitted by Ohio Revised Code, section 121.21G1, to consider the employment, dismissal, discipline, or compensation of a public employee. Do I have a motion to do that?
Yes.
Okay.
I second.
Joe's first motion.
There you go.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion on the matter? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Now the second is a motion to, this one's going to be quite long. How much of this do I actually have to read? All of it? Well, thank you. Motion to adjourn into executive session in accordance with the Ohio Revised Code 121.22G8 to consider confidential information relating to specific business strategy and to discuss negotiations with other political subdivisions respecting requests for economic development assistance, including public infrastructure and the possible expenditures of public funds. Now, we're not done, so stick with me. This has a subcategory A. The information is directly related to a request for economic development assistance that is to be provided for administered under any provision of chapters 715, 725, 1724, or 1728, or section 701.07, 3735.67, 23735.70, 5709.40 to 5709.43. Obviously, a lawyer wrote this.
I mean, you can say for the stated sections in the
For the
revised
stated
code.
sections of the revised code, or that involves public infrastructure improvements, or the extension of utility services that are directly related to an economic development project. Now, there's a B.
And then the B, you can just say that there's a finding made that it's necessary to protect the applicant.
There's a finding made to protect the
Interests of the applicant.
interests of the applicant. Having said all that, do I have a motion?
Yes.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Please, dear God, say no. Hearing none, roll call, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. All right, we're going to go into executive session. We'll have a timeout. We'll get out of it as quickly as possible. Yes, ma'am. Oh, you're just saying hi. You're saying get out of here, get it over with fast. All right, so we are back from our executive session. Can I get a motion to go back into regular sesssion?
So moved.
Got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Roll call. Do we need to do?
Yes.
We're doing on
Yes.
both.
No, you can just come back in for
Okay.
one.
Yes. So we are back in regular session. I'm going to go ahead and do the motion that we discussed in the back room. Is the season for us to discuss payroll and the raises for our staff. And so we did that back in I think in November. The administrative staff worked very hard with the department heads and came up with a really pretty solid approach. It gives employees between a 3% and a 4% pay increase. And so that's what this document is, which will be available to anyone if they'd like to see it. And they can take a look at it. But along with that, we have a motion that we need to make in order to adopt this tonight. So having said that, can I have a motion? The motion would read, I make a motion to adopt the staff recommendation for the 2026 wages. Do we have a motion to do so?
I'll make the motion to adopt staff's recommendation for 2026 wages.
Okay, we have a motion. We have a second. Motion and a second. Any further discussion on the matter? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Well, that is passed. Now we can move into our regular agenda for tonight. And that would be the department heads and their updates. Mr. Chief Brocksterman.
So we have 3 openings that we're in the process of filling. One of them, we have for you as a motion tonight to hire an individual, assuming he passes his final 2 steps, and we are looking for 2 other candidates at this point. That's all I have.
Okay. Fire EMS, Chief Wright, you're up.
Just want to make you aware that we're just about finalized on the State Fire Marshal's Office training reimbursement grant, something we put in every year. I believe we'll get about $1,800 back for classes that we had members that took last year. Also wanted to let you know, and for our 13th year of our Presence from Peers program, we adopted 5 kids this year from 3 families. Program's fully funded from outside contributions from amazing supporters and donors in the community. So we shopped for the gifts. They were wrapped by fire department staff and then delivered on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. We also got gift cards for each family for Kroger to help with food. The next thing is you may or may not have heard, the Claremont County Emergency Management Director, Pam Heverkos, has resigned her position to explore another opportunity. So her last day will be this Friday. I just wanted to take a second and thank Pam for her many years of supporting us through tornadoes, floods, hazmat incidents, and everything in between. She's been a huge help to not only the county, but us. It's a tremendous asset that we're going to lose. I did speak with Administrator McCarthy, and I'd like to bring Pam back maybe next month or March and recognize her for all the things she's done for us.
I think
And
that's
then
great.
the last thing, I think you'll be happy to know. One of the last things Pam was able to do for us before she leaves is she facilitated a discussion and tabletop exercise yesterday with representatives of CLP and their engineering firm. So we did have a brief discussion over their EAP, went through some things, made some recommendations, and we did a tabletop exercise with many of our community public safety partners. It was a great discussion. I think it was a huge step forward, and hopefully we can continue to build on that momentum.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks.
Anything else? All right. Service Department. Hold up, time out. This is actually Norm's first official meeting as the service director.
Yeah.
Maybe we should.
So welcome aboard officially
Thank
in
you.
that title. And now you get to do your motion and I'm going to pick on you.
Well, all we got is,
Yeah, there you go.
Christmas tree recycling is still up until January 16th. And we did the Glen Mary walkthrough, for repairs for the first one. So that's kind of about all we got right now.
Great. All right, so let's go to our next thing, Parks and Green Space. Yeah, I did that on purpose.
You saw it.
I did. It's the fact that the glasses aren't on. I couldn't read the next line.
Yeah, so just some updates coming out of the Parks Committee meeting last week. As far as updates on events, we are working on planning for those. One thing I did want to inquire about is we provided a budget pretty much the same as we've done in the past couple of years back in November. So wanting to know kind of where that stands as far as appropriation approval or whatever, as far as that in the budget.
Right now, we're on temporary appropriations
Okay.
and I've been meeting with all the departments getting their numbers together for the permanent appropriations. And I did plug in 20,000 for
Okay.
your park events.
Okay.
You did have money left over from last year, so that was a good thing. It ended up totaling around 17,000 is
Right.
what was spent.
Yeah.
So, but I did plug in 20 for this year.
Okay, all right. Okay, so we've already started looking at bands for the two concerts in the park. We are hopefully getting a Fleetwood Mac tribute band for the band in June. We have kind of put our name in the hat for them, although we'll be needing to try and get that, nailed down once budgets are approved and, we can make the appropriate request in a trustee meeting coming up soon. And then we look at another band for the August event. Something else, and I mentioned this in previous meetings, that we're looking at potentially, doing something, in the budget. We had, 3 movie nights in the park, but we're looking at potentially maybe downsizing that or doing one big event in place of, or a combination thereof. And so I think there's pretty strong feelings about going ahead with a movie in the park for October, for Halloween. But then taking the funds, from the other 2 movie nights and creating one larger event, a family friendly event. And so we started looking in, there's a company called Cincinnati Circus Company. And I know you were kind of thinking about that a few years ago. And so Dan Newyear has been talking to them about potential opportunities there. And we would maybe look at May for that event, maybe incorporate, for the kids and all of that. So we've got some preliminary numbers from them. It would be a little more than the 2 movies combined, but I think with the monies we'd be spending, and last year we were 3,000 under budget, so I think we could still do it. But I think it'd be a great event. There'd be acrobats and, jugglers and stuff like that. I think it'd be a really fun, family-friendly event. We'd have food trucks and that type of thing. So that's something we're thinking about for
And a
May.
dunk booth,
What's that?
a dunk booth. We could have a dunk booth.
Oh, yeah, we could maybe look into that.
The new guy.
Okay,
It's the new guy.
yeah. So anyway, those are some things we're looking at as far as the events go. Some other things I just wanted to kind of bring up, and I've talked some with Christine during the break there. Is we are, in the master plan, there's a plan for Arboretum development, or pursuing an Arboretum accreditation. And so we would look at like a tier 1 accreditation, and Locust Corner Park is mentioned in the master plan, for that. And Pat Hogan has already identified over 30 different species of trees there. He has to provide me that list, but the minimum requirement is 25. And so we think it's something that could easily be done and for, fairly minimal cost. There's also been discussion about the property over on Jenny Lind, which was recently acquired by the township and just to the library. And that we would have to do more research. It's probably a big enough property that we identify 25, plus, but that could be another potential target as well. I just think it's kind of nice that you can designate these areas as that. But also, you know, you had mentioned the potential for a storybook trail.
Right.
So Dan Newyear and I walked that property last week when it was a little bit warmer. There's a considerable amount of trash back in there that appears to be remnants or of a homeless encampment. That kind of talked to Chief Roxman about that. So there's some work that would need to be done, but Parks Committee, we're looking at in the spring, you know, potentially actually going out and kind of at least developing a preliminary pathway, what that trail may look like. So, and Christine is looking at some grant opportunities that we can probably collaborate on. You know, I stopped by the library and talked to the interim manager there today. They're very supportive of that initiative. And just they want to help contribute as well.
Right. Christine, perhaps we should chat a little bit about tying a couple things together on that particular piece of property. If we start to look at the storybook trail, it might be useful to use, if we can get a grant for that, use that as part of a local match for a larger grant that may come up over the summer. So it may be something that if we layer it, it becomes more financially feasible. So
Yeah, and I think she's, you know, looking at one which she's going to
Okay.
talk about. Hey, so. Okay.
yeah, so perhaps I should shut up.
Thank you.
Thanks, Doug.
All right, so next is planning and development.
Perfect segue.
Perfect segue.
So we became aware of a grant opportunity through Duke Energy. They have some community grants that the Arboretum, planning for the Arboretum
Mhm.
may be eligible for that. So we're exploring that and, you know, need to obviously coordinate, and discuss a little bit more as to strategically how to do all that.
Right. Good. Is that it? Okay. Thank you, Christine.
Staying in
I
the,
didn't say administration
oh,
yet,
sorry
there.
about that.
Don't get ahead of the chair, buddy. Okay. Administration.
So kind of in that same vicinity, Jenny Lind, Oak Street, the service department, Verdantis and I, we met out at the Oak Street property. There is a storm sewer that is in disrepair underneath the sidewalk. So we noticed that there were some sinkholes and the sidewalk kind of starting to deteriorate a little bit. So the service department did close that sidewalk temporarily, and we have it's being evaluated now for kind of next steps forward. Right now, Verdantis is putting together a design proposal, so we know approximately what that cost would look like. And we're also working with the county to determine the availability of grant funds and that sort of thing. So my hope is that by early February, we'll have a path forward kind of with the service department, with our engineer, to give you a proposal and determine if there are any funds that need to be encumbered and what our strategy is going to be to get the sidewalk back open and get the pipe fixed.
All right. Okay. Anything else?
Nope, that's all I have.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eddie. All right, moving into, if there's nothing else to report from the departments, we'll move right on into a new business. Fiscal Officer Debbie Schwei. We have a motion. Got it.
I'll make the motion.
Got a motion?
Yes.
Got a second? Any further discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Debbie, you're still up. We have a motion.
Yes.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, and again, I figured you did.
I sent out to you guys the certificate of revenue.
Uh-huh.
And I just need a motion to approve that. So send it to the county.
Hold on. Could you just, for everyone's sake, explain what that is?
We have to do this every year. And it is the certificate total amount all resources available for expenditures. And it's based on what we receive from our property taxes and from the state that goes into these numbers. And that's what we're limited to spending. We don't want to go over.
Okay.
Okay, we have a motion?
Yes.
We had a motion.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Is that it? Chief Brockstrom.
I request a motion for the appointment of Mr. Gavin Hatfield to the full-time sworn position of police officer at the step one hourly rate of $33.12. The appointment would be contingent on his successful completion of a psychological exam and a medical exam. The effective date of Mr. Hatfield's appointment is to be determined.
I'll make the motion.
Yes.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Chief Brockstrom.
And I request a motion to purchase one mobile data computer from Bisco Technologies for $2,810. This completes the capital expenditure plan to replace the outdated MDCs in the patrol vehicles.
So moved?
Yes.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Chief Wright.
I request a motion to approve the appointment of Angela Plose as a part-time firefighter paramedic at the established rate and to serve a one-year probationary period effective January 15th, 2026.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
Yes.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion of the matter? Hearing none, roll call.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Chief
I
Wright.
request a motion to accept the resignation of full-time firefighter paramedic Brooke Hart effective January 2nd, 2026.
I'll make the motion.
Yes.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Number 7, Chief Wright's already pulled off the agenda. So number 8, Chief Wright, you're up again.
I request a motion to approve the payment for paramedic school tuition to University of Cincinnati Physicians Company for Sydney Clem in the amount of $9,750. This amount is subject to reimbursement from the 2024 Assistance to Firefighters Grant we were awarded to cover 90% of the cost.
All right. Do we have a motion?
Yes.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Yes.
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 And I request a motion to approve the annual invoice from the Claremont County Fire Chiefs Alliance to include membership dues and the cooperative purchasing access to Blaze Stack fire investigation software in the amount of $3,000.09.
Do we have a motion? We have a motion.
Second?
Do we have a second? Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Thank you.
All right, Christine, you're up.
I request a motion to approve payments totaling $3,630 to the members of the Zoning Commission and Board of Zoning Appeals for their service during 2025.
This is a previously agreed upon amount, right?
So it is, I included their attendance sheet in your packet information. The established pay rate is $15 per meeting. If it's a regular meeting, if it's a public hearing, it's $45 per public hearing. So it's
Okay.
based on the number of meetings and public hearings that they attended.
Gotcha.
So it is a little different for each individual depending on how many meetings they
Okay.
attended.
Thanks for that clarification. I will second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Mr. Shepherd,
Yes.
Mr. Powell,
Yes.
Mr. Freeman.
Yes. Eddie.
I request a motion to appoint Mr. Norman Darnell to the position of Service Director at a rate of $86,500 and subject to a 6-month probationary period.
Well, it's a little late now. We already introduced him into the game.
That's what I was saying. Are we still the motion on the agenda?
I know. You should have been louder. I was too busy talking.
Now, how is this going to play out? I don't know.
Well, we might have to suspend him.
I'll make the motion.
All right. Did you hear that? It was like grudging. I'll make the motion. Okay. Yes. That's right.
Thank you.
He needs a jersey with his name on it, right?
Right.
All right. We have a motion.
Yes.
And we have a second. Any further discussion on the matter? Here, do you have an objection? Would you like to get out now? This is the time. Oh, okay. Let me vote on it
Yeah, let's
first.
vote on it.
You can't talk until they vote.
Okay, sorry.
Roll call, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. All right, now.
I would like to thank the trustees, and Eddie and the department heads all for giving me this opportunity. So very excited to get started and ready to get going.
It's great. Norm.
Thank you, guys.
Welcome aboard, man.
Yeah.
And
And the hazing will continue probably through the 5th meeting of the year. So don't worry. All right. Anything else for the good of the order? Then we will now move into public comment, open floor discussion. Whoever wants to grab the mic, it's open mic night.
My
You
name
better
is
watch
Chuck
out.
Lane.
They'll trample you. There's so many people
Yeah.
coming.
My name is Chuck Lane and I live at 886 Castle Bay in Pierce Township. And I was working with John Kohler for a long time on Bennett Road. And by the way, John Kohler helped me a lot. He got golf cart crossing signs. He painted some of those lines on the road for the golf cars. And we worked on Bennett Road. We got the road painted, the center line. He worked with Union Township to save money so they could paint it straight through and do stuff. So didn't know he left, but I welcome Norman, so we can work on that. The problem with Bennett Road is that now that they have paved the new end in Union Township with beautiful white lines on the side and all brand new blacktop and everything, it's a tremendous difference when you come down the road and it turns into Pierce. When you go over that little hill, the road gets narrower and and everything, I think it's a lot more dangerous. The culverts are real close to the edge of the road. There's many drop-offs and everything. And so I went out and I measured some of this stuff and I have some pictures to show you. This is Bennett right by where you start out with the white line.
Okay.
And that road is 10 feet wide at that point on each side. And then when you go to, this is B, when you go to the Bennett, the one in Pierce Township, right, the very where Gaskins is, the road is only 8.5 feet on each side instead of 10-foot lanes. So the road is like 3 feet narrower on the whole width. And that means when you're passing vehicles coming, you're almost mirror to mirror. I mean, you know, my driveway is 16 feet, 16 feet 8 inches, and your road is only 17. I'm not doing 25 miles an hour in my driveway, you know, and most vehicles don't even do 25. And here's some of the culverts. See, you can see how they drops off. Here's another one, number D, where it's dropped off. This picture E on Bennett Road shows 3 drops off just in a short area. So if somebody forces you over to the edge, I mean, I almost got hit by a deer when you had to swerve a little bit, you can go off pretty quickly. And this was the sewer grate at the end. I don't know how any water would go down that sewer. The grate is so high, everything runs away from there. But if you run off the road, you're gonna run right into that cement that's sticking up. You should have had dirt all around it to do that. So, I know I've traded some notes with Nick and I appreciate your effort and your writing back to me. And I know you said you want to study. I know there was a major accident where somebody hit a tree along there. I don't know the details of the accident. It was in Pierce Township and it was several years ago, maybe 5 years ago. So that should be in the record.
But just to clarify that, you want to specify what that was? Because we have one accident that we know of.
The accident it's referring to that several years ago, whereas a subject had a medical emergency and ran into a tree on the side of the road. The only other activity we had on the pier side happened on September 27th, 2024, where a vehicle struck a tree limb. So that's the only other since 2023.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it just seems like when you're driving, I mean, I drive it at night when it's raining, when the fog, when there's snow. I mean, it's and it is a narrow road. I mean, I think the standard is supposed to be 10 feet. I've driven on many roads in Pierce Township. I've driven on Gaskins, and even the road over here coming, the Locust Corner has a white line down each side. Even to get to here, you have a wider road. And I just think this is deficient in Pierce Township. And I think we're only waiting for a time when somebody's going to have an accident. When you go off, that ditch is going to swallow your whole car and you're going to come to a screeching stop instantaneously. So I'm asking that you could consider in the budget for this year, or at least do a study of what we could do to fix that. I did talk to John Kohler about adding gravel, because there's a road in Apple Road in Tavia Township. And that road is so narrow, they don't even have a line down the center. So they put about 8 to 12 inches of gravel on each side of the road, so that at least if you went off the road, you're on level ground. If you leave our road with the way it curves off, you're done. I mean, you can't even get back on the road if your wheel drops down that far. So I just would like to have you study this over and get back with us and see what we could do,
Yeah. I think that's fair enough.
Do you have any questions or?
No, I'm thinking of some questions for Norm, actually, because I'm looking at this one. It looks like it's like a half French drain, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know if on the back side of that, if that's where water's coming into that.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it looks like. That's where the ditch line is.
Where that bottle, that
Yeah.
pop bottle is, it looks like it looks like the
you-
water curls back around.
Yeah.
But the drain on top, the grate, is never only a small amount of water would ever drain there, because the
Right.
other thing is the whole ground is lower. I know Bonnie Batchelor was the one that fixed that years ago. She fixed that drain, but it
Did that.
should be
Oh,
lowered, or
okay.
there should be more dirt put around there so that,
Yeah, well, if there's a drain, if that's where it's draining into, we really can't cover it because that's where the water's
but
going. But
we should put more dirt where if somebody runs off the road, they're not going to run into that piece of.
the grade on
cement.
the top is kind of an overflow, so
Yeah.
if it runs down and it can't fill up, it will go up and over into the pipe.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you may be able to look into certain spots, because I drive that road every day. It's the main road in and out of my house. So I'm, driven it thousands of times over the last decade or so. And some of what you're saying is accurate, but it's also localized to specific areas. I
Right.
mean, there's large portions of the road that are fine, essentially.
Mhm.
The ones you're referring to are a couple areas that, as you get close to the intersection at Gaskins and whatnot. So maybe there are, and then but you're going to run into the culvert on the side too. That's already there. That's meant to catch the water and the drainage. So that may need to be modified in certain areas if we're going to do something with it. But I
think
even though it is the road that I drive a lot, I would like this to be looked at objectively and,
yeah,
looked at the rest of the budget and then the other projects that we have and ensure how it fits in and what the necessity is there. But
Yeah.
it is certain areas. It's a few spots, and you can see where the car's tires have gone off and where the underside of the car is dug into the pavement in a few spots, but it's not the entire.
No, it's not the
Entire-
entire road in Pierce, but it's very different than the Union side. And even the Union side, most of it, if you drive off, there's level ground. And some of the area, there's level ground. You just have to look at it, but there's a lot of culverts that are way close.
Right.
That first picture where you see the culvert on the Bennett Road side, it's like 4 feet off the road, so you would have to go way, way off the road to hit that culvert. And ours are like right next to the end. I mean, this road, I'm sure, was built years ago when this was farm country and
Oh, yeah.
nobody was living. But now with Castle Bay and all of the Country Club Drive and the Country Club and all those apartments down St. Andrews, there's a tremendous number of people. In fact, when the cars go down to the light on 125, the lineup is so long that when that light comes on for like 20, 25 seconds, not all the cars can even get out. There's so much traffic.
Well, that's also not necessarily true. I mean, that's only when the school lets out.
Oh,
It's
but
only
I've
like
been there many times when
it's
there's been a lot.
2% of the
I haven't made it.
time.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean-
I do understand what you're saying. And some of those areas are, when you get down to those 8-foot areas, you are right.
Yeah.
And if there's another large vehicle coming the opposite direction, like a school bus or a garbage
Sure.
truck or something, you sort of almost have to stop and get all the way over, let the vehicle come
Right.
through, and then you
Yeah.
can carry on.
Yeah.
So it's pretty narrow in a few spots.
Yeah.
I totally agree with
Well, whatever they could do to fix it up,
We'll look into it.
I
Yeah.
have one more question on something else.
Okay.
What's going on with that retirement home where the Popeyes is, you know, where the, all that, where the guy went out of business. I haven't heard anything for a long time. I tried to look that up. Is some new owner has taken it or?
Yeah, a new owner has taken the property and they've started up construction on it. And you guys did a walkthrough, did you not? Over at the,
Yes, this Chief Watkins has been there numerous times.
so
What's
yeah,
it called now?
it's called,
Oh, Amelia Pearson.
Okay.
Potentially it's named right now, but that still may change by time.
yeah,
Okay.
the working title is
No, it
Amelia
looks
Care
like
Center.
It's gonna be much bigger than what was even, it seems like they're getting, every time I look at it, you know, we go out to that out all the time.
Yeah.
So, we just wondered, it looks like it's getting bigger. So your guys are on top of it. You have
Yeah,
all the-
Eddie's been dealing with the new owners, the service department as well as the rest of the
Okay.
staff for the fire department. They've been monitoring it
Okay.
pretty closely. I think they're
What is the
pretty,
expected completion date?
what did they tell you guys? What was the last thing for completion date? Okay,
Okay, well, thank you very much. And thank you for your time.
no
Thanks.
problem. Thank
Thanks
you.
for putting all this together, Chuck.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Anybody else? No? No? All right, fine.
All right, Michelle Ball, site 13 Bob White. I just wanted to go over a couple things. First off, I want to thank everyone for all of your support for the Christmas parade that didn't happen this year. But you know, we had sub-zero weather but I appreciate everyone being on call and waiting for me to say yay or nay. In the long run, I mean, I'm always about tradition and I hated not to have it because it is a tradition, but in the long run, it wasn't worth pulling you guys and your staff, the Batavia Township's staff with and to pull those resources when you've been out all night, making things safe for us, residents, and then going back out the next night. Your rest and mindset meant more to me than having that parade. So we will pick back up again next year. But I do appreciate everyone's support. All of the donations and entry fees that I got, I'm keeping those. And for next year, they will obviously get their entry was already paid for next year. If something comes up and they can't participate and you get any phone calls or anything, just let me know. And then I'll be happy to refund that money to them for whatever reason, but that'll be like on a one-off kind of thing. So that's that. And my second thing is property maintenance. We were going to talk about 2026 being the year of property maintenance in the old Amelia. So how can I help you help me with property maintenance?
You know, I think you were reading my mind because I was thinking about this
It's
earlier this week, actually.
spaghetti.
Yeah. We had discussed, and I think we were going to be coordinating, either Katie and or Larry Barbier coming in and just helping us with some of the home rule discussion. And so that's really kind of maybe a good first step that would help us if you're so inclined to kind of discuss those tools and sort of.
Yeah,
sort of
I
thing.
think that'd be a great idea.
Okay.
We started down that path before and we, for one reason or another, did not have that meeting.
Yeah, and we put together a presentation, so I can do that, or I can have Larry come in and do that. That's kind of his expertise. But either way, we're prepared to talk to the township about that if you want to go down the road of home rule.
Well, I mean, I think it's worth discussing.
Sure.
Yeah.
At least
Especially if
having,
you want a property maintenance code.
yeah. That's one thing that we found out about the property maintenance code. As you know, that's when somebody on this board continues to harp on that issue. That said, the key component of that is to have home rule. So we really need to take that step first in order to get to the next step. And what that means, we really haven't had a really thorough debate. So I think it'd be great to have one of you do the presentation.
Sure.
Maybe we have a special meeting or something so we can work through it.
One other thing too, Michelle, not to volunteer your time, but I'd be happy too if you wanted to, we could sit down and discuss or maybe even hit the corridor and kind of target some. Sorry?
I'd love to wear another hat.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that might help us to kind of target in on some thoughts and what you're thinking, and we can, the property maintenance might solve some problems, but there might be some other strategies we could do to target what you're looking at. Okay, cool.
Great.
All right, that's all I got.
All right.
Michelle, thank you for all your work with the Christmas parade. Really appreciate it. It was a good decision. I know it was a tough one for you, but I appreciate everything you put into all that stuff.
Thank you. I just felt that it wasn't fair for me to ask them, come on out and let's go down and pray, when I knew that their sleep meant more to me as a resident. So, because I knew they were going back out with the weather conditions the way they were. They were better spent sleeping and napping and resting for that next night. So thank you guys.
All right, thank you. All right, anybody else? All right, so it would appear that we've come to the end of this particular meeting. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Yes.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion on it? Roll call, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Ready? Is this it? Is that it? And then I also have that. All right, we're out.